Hey guys, welcome back to a video. Today's topic is going to be second guessing yourself, and when you start looking at your situation, and maybe whenever your narcissistic toxic ex is like trying to convince you that you're wrong in what you think that they are, that it's not them, it's you, or something along those lines, because inevitably that is going to happen. Inevitably you're going to come across a time where they'll realize that you've kind of painted them in a box, figured them out, and they're going to try to undermine either that directly with you, or they're going to try to convince other people, like your kids, family members, friends, anybody they can, that no, 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 they're not the problem. You are the problem. And what I've noticed with a lot of people who've been on this channel, I mean, we're pushing 35,000 now. I mean, the numbers keep going up, which is, I mean, I guess in the YouTube sense, yay, the numbers are going up. The sad part of it is man, it sucks that every day there's somebody new who's going through this, who's finding this channel and realizing that their life is not exactly what they thought it was, and things are a little more complicated. Just let me say this right off the bat. If you're new to this, do not, under any circumstances, go march off to your ex and tell them you have figured them out, you know what they are, they fit all the patterns of behavior, and you're going to take your finger and just wag it in their face, wave it in their face, and say, I figured you out. You're a toxic, narcissistic person, and you probably have a personality disorder. Don't do that, because it'll blow up in your face. All it'll do is it'll tip the tide to where they'll realize that, oh my God, you figured them out. And then if they don't know about this, they'll research it, and then they'll nitpick your own behavior and tell everyone else that you are the toxic person, that you are the one who is exhibiting all these toxic behaviors. Okay, with that out of the way, here's the reality of it. Most of the people who end up here, a little bit of codependency going on, and they second guess themselves a lot. So it really doesn't take much for a person to turn the tides and basically start coming at you saying that, well, you do this and you do that, and I'm only reacting to you. If it wasn't for you, it would never happen, that type of thing. You have to go back to actions and words and patterns of behavior. Just because somebody says something to you doesn't make it true. And if you're anything like me, you will probably have spent a significant amount of your life being sucked into that vortex of chaos and convinced there's more going on, and it's mainly coming from you. Actions and words, patterns and behavior. In other words, they could say, "Oh, I'm the reasonable one. I co-parent. I mean, I don't know what your problem is. I'm ready and willing. I'm right here. I'm right here." And if you're early into this, it'll mess with your head, because you're like, "Wait a minute. No, you say that, but you don't do anything to demonstrate it." I remember way back when, geez, this had to be like 7 years ago. 6 years. It was a long, oh my God, time's flying by. It was a long time ago. There was a period of time where I started kind of doing the no contact thing. I'm like, look, I'm just staying away from her, from my ex. And she sent me a note, and she's like, we need to communicate. You don't communicate with me anymore. And this is what ultimately happened is I stopped chasing. After a month or two, they realized, oh crap, they're not chasing me anymore. I have to boop right in their eye to get reset this whole thing. This is unacceptable. We can't do this. And I remember at one point, I was like, okay, so what's different? What can you demonstrate? What can you do to show that something has changed, that things are different? And the retort back was, well, I can see right now that you're just not ready. But I just, so you know, I'm right here. Anytime when you decide you're ready, when you decide that you're ready to co-parent and communicate, I'm right here. And I'm like, oh, dear God. You know, and that didn't take long. There was something that came up shortly after that where I was like, all right, fine. Okay, fine, great, whatever. You know, what do you want to talk about? And it was something stupid like, oh, I'm making, beef for dinner. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want, no, this is like communicating about the kids. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to be friends with you. You've done so much damage that I just want to keep my defenses up, that type of thing. But here's the thing. It didn't take long for something to come up to where I'm like, hey, this situation came up. Can we compromise? Nope. Won't do it. Won't even talk about it. Won't even discuss it. The answer is no. So, and I got to admit, this is before the channel, right? So this is, before my enlightenment stage. I don't even think I knew about personality disorders at the time. I think it was that early. I mean, that's probably 8-9 years ago. 7-8 years ago. Anyways. And I have to admit that I could not help myself. And when I wrote back, I said, well, obviously you're not ready to communicate. And whenever you decide you are, just know that I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to communicate with you if you decided you want to. Guys, don't do that. Don't do that. If that sounds like a good idea, go to my main page. Go to the Mindset for Narcissistic Abuse Recovery. Go to the first video called Hybrid No Contact. Watch that. Don't do that. I shouldn't have done that. I should have said, okay. And just left it at that and just stopped. But I know how I'm sure you are in the same position I am. You get so irritated, so frustrated, so sick of it, that when you finally get an opportunity to take your finger and go boop right in their eye, you want to do it. Don't do it. It's not good for you. I mean, it might feel good in the moment, but it just doesn't help you. You just got to understand that these people follow the same patterns of behavior. Their actions and their words never match up, and it's almost like you can count on it. You can just basically take it to the bank. The sad reality of this is that they don't stop. So you can have that situation, and maybe you grow and you become a different person and you learn to deal with this in a different way. And 5 years down the road, 7 years down the road, it will be the same story, the same thing that they were doing, 10 years before. So just don't let that depress you. Don't let that wear you down. And I say that because there are times, even now, whenever these patterns repeat, and I'm just like, God, really? Really? Do the same games have to happen? Do the same passive-aggressive things have to happen? Do the same subtle put-downs and the oh, I'm not talking bad about, you, and you're being basically trashed every chance you get. Now, I get it. I run a channel on narcissistic abuse recovery, you could turn around and make a comment saying, well, you're just bashing your ex. And it's like, guys, man, I am so sick of this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't mean the channel. What I mean is it's like the other day I was looking at it, it's like, oh my God, 9 years, 3 kids, 2 kids off, 2 kids have aged out. I got 2 kids in their 20s. I got one kid that's 15. And it's like, it just doesn't end. It's the same stuff. It's the same subtle manipulation. It's the same crap, where they're trying to subtly turn the kids against you. It's just one of those things. You got to focus on the long game. You got to focus on maintaining the relationship with your kids. Don't take the bait. Don't fall into the trap of getting irritated and taking it out on your ex or taking it out on the kids, because the kids are just waiting for you to do that. They're waiting for you to prove the point that you hate the ex, that you can't let it go, and then it just creates more problems. Focus on building the best environment for you. Focus on building your peace and tranquility in your own environment. Once you have that stable, then focus on trying to have a good, solid relationship with your kids or your child and understand that it's going to be an uphill battle, and it's going to be one of those things where you're just going to have to constantly be reinforcing with your actions and words that you are the dependable one, that you are the one that cares about them, that you have their best interest at heart, and just be steadfast on that. On that, hopefully that was helpful. If you have some comments if you have some comments on this, or if you have some thoughts, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. If you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, let me know. At the end of the day, this is about you getting your life back. You breaking free from the toxic muck that was your life and taking hold of your future. Trying to make the most of it. On that, hope you're doing all right, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care.